Roger, how does it look?
The words simply ran over and around me, making no sense. Doctor was direct and to the point.
Roger, how did it go, over?
The reaction was one of numbness. It didn't initially break down, and I'm not sure why.
We are now coming up on 30 seconds.
The first 30 seconds in the morning are the best 30 seconds of the day, because you get up and you don't remember. And then 30 seconds and you realize what's happened. And I'm not talking just day or two, I'm talking years afterwards. You forget, you wake up, you're by yourself, you turn over to your right, she's not there. And it's like, I've been asked what the worst day of my life was, and I never say it's the day that Rosa died. It was the day that we got her diagnosis. We were going down to get an angiogram because she was having heart problems. So, I mean, we knew it was serious, but not as serious as it would become. And the doctor gave me the news. It was like standing in a tsunami. The wave just went right over me, that she had less than a year to live. Obviously broke down. The neighbors had been nice enough to make a dinner for me. Couldn't touch it. I couldn't sleep that night. 2 nights before she died, we actually talked about cremation. I was sitting in a chair across from the bed. She just turned to me and she said, you know, I love you. She just took this sudden turn for the worse. I called the ambulance to get her. She was not happy with me. In her dignity, she wanted to make sure she was ready to go. So the ambulance came. I hopped into my car like a bat out of hell, and the ambulance never passed me. When I got there, they were waiting for me. They drove about 10 minutes, and she had just turned to the doctor and thanked her for coming down with her, and then she went into a massive coronary arrest and died. Telling my kids was very difficult. I had the most difficult time at first dealing with it because it just hit me like waves. My kids were better at it, but it's for them, over the period of time, it's been more challenging because, you know, they don't have their mom for graduation, they don't have their mom for a wedding when they get married, or prom and that kind of stuff. And I would break into spontaneous crying. People ask you about tragedy and they don't want to talk to you about it because they feel like they're hurting you. But I like to talk about Rosa because, you know, I still love her. The gravesite was about a 5-minute drive from the house, so when I was really feeling upset, I'd go up to the gravesite and sit. I wish we'd gone somewhere. I wish we'd done things. I went and bought her a bunch of notebooks, and she wanted to write a series of letters to the kids at various stages of their life, but because things happened so quickly, she never got a chance to. I wouldn't watch a movie that had a family in it. I remember walking through the mall and seeing a family sitting in the food court, and it really upset me because I didn't have a full family. Right after Rosa died, for about a year, I had zero desire to do anything. Like, you know, obviously some very, very dark days. If I didn't have my kids, I don't know what I would have done. I just wanted to go back to sleep to get that serenity back. You dreamed about you're at a beach somewhere. But then, of course, you remember, I gotta get the kids to school, I gotta get to work. Getting busy was my coping strategy. So I was able to go in, and for 8-9 hours, I could lose myself into doing what I was doing. I had a lot of people who wanted me to start dating again, and I kind of pushed them away, but over time, I pushed less and less, and then I just started saying, so what do I do? Nothing lasted more than a date or two. It was just, wasn't there. I mean, it's hard to compete with someone like Rosa. I think it's a George Bernard Shaw quote. A man who has had a good marriage will want to get remarried again because they know what a good marriage is like. We were married for 13 years. I had a great marriage. My life with Rosa was magical, and I wanted it back. I actually made a conscious decision to, if I was going to find somebody else, to find somebody who is the complete opposite of Rosa, and Kristen is the person who I found. Rosa was this tiny little petite, black-haired, fiery Italian, and Kristen is this tall, blonde, Germanic background, where Rosa is this fiery, take no prisoners. Kristen she's one of those people who can make anybody happy. And I look at my life kind of like a book, and its chapters have been written. And it's hard to believe my other life. I had my pre-Rosa life, I had my Rosa life, I had my in-between Rosa life, I have my Kristen life. So it's hard sometimes to believe that these previous chapters have existed, at least, because I'm very happy where I am right now. Love is like the marble statue, and when I was young, I was just chipping out the outlines of it, and you got the very broadest specter of what that statue is going to be. And as I, became more refined in my relationships, that statue became to look more and more, artistic, beautiful. And now that statue, when I had it with Rosa, I thought it was the perfect statue, and now with Kristen, I have it, it's even a more perfect statue in essence, that I've learned more about myself. And over time, you began to realize that you need to find someone who stimulates you, stimulates your mind, stimulates just your joy. Like having someone laugh, someone to joke with, someone who puts you in your place. And you talk to me in 10 years, and I will say that even the statue has become even more intricate. I've been very, very lucky. I found two people who are the loves of my life. And that sounds contradictory, but I can't imagine my life without either one of them.